Okay, be honest now. Do you consider yourself to be in the top 2% of all photographers? If so, this video is probably not for you. But if you're like the other 98% of photographers, me included, I'm here to tell you that the next generation of whatever camera you're holding probably won't make a great deal of difference to the quality of your photography. Let me fill up and tell you what I'm talking about. Welcome to the channel, Hayward here. Great photographers are not defined by the cameras they use. Sometimes they even use primitive cameras or processes for a certain effect. Heck, there's photographers today doing gel plate photography with view cameras. It's not about the medium, it's about the photographer. Some photographers do need the latest and greatest. It's all about what you shoot. And whatever camera you have in your hand today, it is a quantum leap above what was in the hands of a Karsh or a Pen or an Avedon many decades ago when they created some of the most iconic photography ever made. So because today's cameras, including the one you have, are so much better than what these guys used decades ago, it stands to reason that the photography you create is going to be way better than what they did, right? Of course not. We all know that's not true. If that's the case, if you're longing for the next generation of whatever camera you have, my question to you is, why? Will whatever the features of the next generation camera that's coming out really make a noticeable difference in your photography? Like I said in the beginning, if you're one of the 2% of photographers who are on the bleeding edge, like you are a wildlife Nat Geo type photographer who's out in incredibly rough conditions, shooting at incredible distances, yeah, you probably could use every feature that the cameras can offer, weather sealing, quality, whatever it may be. Or if you're a bleeding edge sports photographer shooting high speed action, autofocus, and how fast the camera can shove images in the buffer, yeah, that's going to matter to you. So if the next gen's faster and better, it'll be great. But for the rest of us, probably not. Now, don't get me wrong. The new cameras with all the bells and whistles are really nice. They definitely work better. They definitely can do things we never dreamed of, again, decades ago. So it's definitely nice to have, absolutely. But an important question is, are you in it for the photography or the toys? Speaking for myself as a portrait photographer, I find it really annoying that camera body upgrades are even a part of my life. On a daily basis, the only things that are really important to me are ISO, f-stop, shutter speed. Yeah, I know, there are some other things that I need the camera to do, but the point I'm trying to make is I don't use a fraction of the features that are in my camera. In fact, if you asked me what 90% of them do, I'd probably have to look it up. It's not that they're not great. It's not that I never use them. It's just that once I've been able to get the camera body to do a decent exposure, that's all I really ever needed. Okay, let me deal with the elephant in the room. If you've been following my channel since the beginning, you probably know what I'm about to talk about. Resolution. In my book, resolution's done. In fact, resolution has been done for quite some time. When it passed 26 to 28 megapixels in a 35mm camera, I don't need any more, and I routinely make 40 to 50-inch prints. Do you? If you do, I've made 60-inch prints from my 30-megapixel camera. I've got a video on that. So resolution is not a selling point to me. In fact, it's a negative that they are now sometimes shoving so many pixels on the same size sensor. Physics isn't going to change. I don't think that's a great thing. If you are one of the 2%, like I said in the beginning of the video, like you are a high-end fashion photographer or something like that, and yes, you're gonna need a lot of megapixels, you're gonna need lots of things, you're gonna push the camera to its limits, but if you are one of those high-end fashion photographers, I'd be willing to bet you're already working in medium format, which is the best place to get more megapixels. I've talked about it before. That's just something I think that camera manufacturers, resolution, that's a marketing thing. It's not really improving the cameras. Dynamic range now, yeah, you can talk to me about dynamic range because we still can do a lot with that. So if a camera jumps forward and says, oh, I've got 4 more stops of dynamic range, you've got my attention. So I am really attuned to the things that will matter in my final image. So the point of all this is, if you're in the game for photography, there's nothing holding you back except yourself from doing great images with whatever piece of equipment you have today. That's the whole point of this. If you're looking forward to the next generation of camera because you just like the cool gadgets, that's fine. But don't fool yourself into thinking it's holding you back. It's not. Nothing is holding you back except your ability and how much you've studied and learned. Thank you so much for coming to the channel. I always appreciate it. This might be kind of interesting in the comments. I'll look forward to it if you've got some feedback on this. Hey guys, until the next video, cheers.